Hello and welcome to my low effort tutorial for Shadow Hedgehog neutral runs. I'm doing this live on my Twitch channel now, so if I make a comment off screen that's something, then that's what's happening. But otherwise, I just kind of want to go through quickly the two main routes that people will be doing for neutral, and what do you call it? What I am doing and why I'm doing the things I am as I play, because it's not always obvious just watching the run. So yeah, so first here's my tracker program I use occasionally. I'm realizing now I don't know the path names, but okay, I should just be able to do that. Yes, okay, so this is your true-ish, as true as possible neutral path. So in my speedrun of only normal missions for my only dark normal hero speedrun, this is the path I would take, because even though you only have the option of dark or hero is the same one as all the other ones, and which is just get to the goal. Makes sense. But yeah, this is the most common one that people will use for neutral. It's the fastest that we have right now for expert or no warps in any percent. But for glitchless, we actually have a faster route, which I will bring up. That will be let me click the focus. Normal, dark, normal, hero, I believe. So yes, what we can do is that we pivot off into the Doom, because this mission here, the Prison Island Dark mission, is I think just a little bit slower than the normal, but you skip Sky Troops, you skip Iron Jungle, and you skip Eggbreaker. And then the Doom normal is insanely fast, 30-ish seconds. Heavy Dog, 30-ish seconds, which is these two combined faster than Sky Troops. And then you do have to do Air Fleet Hero, which is taken out of the different or Black Arms soldiers, but in total, in-game time, RTA, we found that this deviation from true normal is faster. And as far as categories are concerned, there's 326 different ways of getting to these 10 endings, and we don't have 326 leaderboards. We don't want that, so we've grouped them up into 5 main endings, and all you need to do is get to one of the 2 bosses at the end of one of these stage 6s, as I call them, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll see them as we play them. They'll pop up over here, stage 1, 6, whatever. So yeah, we're gonna start with the normal one. So that again is all normal missions, except you have to do the hero mission at the end. We're gonna start with this because that's the one everyone's gonna start off with when they're learning, and then we'll pivot into doing the different stages for the faster route. Okay, so I like to think I'm pretty fast at this game, but I'm only going to guarantee like what I've done the most and I find the most consistent for me. There's definitely faster ways of doing some of these stages, especially in an IL setting. I have not necessarily learned everything, but I know quite a bit. So yeah, there's additional reading to do if you're interested in becoming the best. So we're just gonna go ahead and start. So right now everything I'm doing is going to apply on both regular console Shadow and Shadow Speedrunner's Cut. Shadow Speedrunner's Cut is currently the go-to for me, so that's what we'll be using. So coming down here, nothing you can really do. If you're doing expert, there's a little maneuver you can do, but realistically, no matter what you do, you're hitting these ramps at 20 seconds, and that's the end. You'll hit that bird. Now over here, I'm going to charge a spin dash and run into these flames. Those two flames give you 1/10 of a blue meter each. So very important that you do the spin dash over here to get your hero points faster. I'm going to grab this gun, and if you stay back here, those 3 enemies will not attack you. So if you come back, that's fine. If you go forward too much, that's fine. Come back and you can shoot them, but you don't have to shoot them all. And then there's a few different ways to go about this. We've had runners that will do a little hop here to maintain momentum as they go through. I kind of just run through, kind of trying to stay on the yellow line as much as I can. I will shoot once to get this guy out of the way, because he'll like to walk in your way. And then you have to shoot this guy twice in order to open up that crate. And then I've seen others will move to the side. Like, it's probably a little bit easier to show if you do it at full speed. But they'll come through, hit this guy twice, and grab the emerald to go. Fun fact, you can just skip the emerald and just do a spin dash. Jump off of that guy to get up here. That's not fast for neutral. Don't do it for neutral. And then here, I'm gonna grab those 2 birds. I don't have a weapon at this point. I ran out of ammo. That's fine though, because you're gonna be able to pick up this gun here. What I will do here is I'll run through. I use my last 2 bullets on those 2 birds, and I'll jump over this. And a certain someone doesn't like me doing that. You're supposed to be fast, and you're supposed to actually move to the side here so you can get the box more directly. Another thing real quick here with weapons, if you walk up to the weapon, you can see I picked it up like that. But if I jump on the weapon, it's an immediate pickup. So for that box, let me see if I can find another box here. Like, I can do a... Please drop the gun. Thank you. I can do a jump and B input to do... Oh, why do I not have my input display on stream right now? Hold on. I can grab that. Window capture. This thing. Where are you at? There we go. Alright. So, there's my input display. So, yeah. Jump, B input will let you do the spin kick. And if there was a weapon there, you can then jump onto the weapon. So, you'll see me do this later on. I lost my weapon. Okay. You then take out these 4 enemies, though you do it a bit faster with the weapon you just acquired. And then you can come up here, not take damage, but you can take damage depending on how he's aiming and shooting at you. And you can get more ammo for your SMG. Now, when you have the same weapon and you go to pick up another of the same weapon, you can just run over it however slow you want, ideally fast. Yeah, and then here, I want to grab at least that guy as I make my way down. I'm slowing down a bit here because I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything, but you kind of zoom in through here fast. And then I kill all these 3. So here, my particular point route allows me to do a couple things here depending on the enemies I hit along the way. So I hit out every enemy that I needed to. So simply killing at least this box will be enough to get me chaos control. You can shoot that guy as well. So I'm just saying that there's some variance. You don't have to hit every enemy. I'll go through this stage again real quick and I'll kind of explain what I mean by that. But you jump off this ramp and use chaos control, except you don't wait as long as I have, because then you would then have chaos control through this whole section. So let's kind of restart and go through the stage again.
Promise time, huh?
So kind of reiterate on my earlier point here. Some runners have decided that, or like have tried to use this light dash at the end here to get a bit of extra speed. Well, see there, I messed it up, but we found that even if you did get it, there's like a wall that's falling, and you run into the wall if you go too fast. So any amount of time you would have saved hitting the spring or the ramp faster, you lose when you hit the wall. You still make it pass, but it's just, in my opinion, not worth it. So, grab the bird, grab the 2 flames, grab the gun, shoot both of these, make my way through. If you're fast enough, you'll be able to dodge the explosive that's behind you. Now, if you ever see me do a live stream of this stage, you'll sometimes hear me say, "Oh, I missed 1," or "I missed 2." Basically, what I'm calling out is that the score you see here does not exactly correlate to how much of this blue meter you have. So, by keeping track of who I'm killing, I can know how many points I have for this meter as opposed to the score. I'll use the score as a reference because if you stick to your route, the score will be the same every time, and you'll know, like, oh, if I have this score, then I know I missed this much. So, all things to consider, there's a page on our speedrun website, shadowspeedrun.com. Let me bring that up here real quick. So, there's this guide, health, points, and routing. So this is what I'm talking about here. Like, Black Warrior is 150 in points, but it's 2,000 in meter. So if I missed a Black Warrior, I say I missed 2. If I missed a Black Wing, I said I missed 1. So that's what I'm talking about there. You can go on that website page and kind of look through it more. I wish this is the low effort tutorial, so normally I would have like infographics on screen for that type of stuff, but yeah, that's what you get for now. So if I was to miss 1, then I would see that my score is 16 like this. And in that case, I know then if I was trying to get exactly the amount of points, I would, or to use Chaos Control Glitch for like a glitchless run, I would only need to kill those 2. And you can see I have a sliver left on my meter. If I missed 2, then I would make sure I hit all 3. And if I miss 3, then I need to go find points later. But the idea is that if I'm using Chaos Control Glitch, I want to just be able to go off here and shoot that box to have Chaos Control. But this is glitchless. I'm just explaining why I do it that way for glitchless. It's just maintaining what I'm doing for glitch. Or, yeah, between the 2. I kind of just ran through that section real quick. So let me... I didn't get the checkpoint. Well, I'll run through the stage here real quick again.
Just keep coming. Shadow, give me a hand.
Oh no, that's gonna take so long. Okay. We're going to not do that. We're gonna do one more pass. Westopolis is definitely one of the more technical stages in the run. And it's gotten the nickname, from me at least, of Resetopolis because of how much we do resets in it. So, if this tutorial is mostly Westopolis, then that's probably adds up. Just to cover all the different cases that can pop up. I'll be going through this beginning part pretty fast. I'll call out if there's anything out of the ordinary in terms of what I've talked about yet or not. Okay, so right there, I did like a little, like, I was moving fast and I did a kind of like a take back. And that's just, I do that in a few places to like maintain my momentum and not go too fast through a section. Okay, so here's this section. Skip all this. You want to pause. That's a nice freeze frame. Right up. That's a better freeze frame. There's a checkpoint coming up right here. So you want to stop your chaos control at that point. And to do that, you want to use the X button. And then from here, I am sliding down, but I should be doing a light dash down to maintain, or to get a quick speed up to go through the rest of the section fast. And then I'm just going to try to maintain a certain like racing line through there to skip the, I think it's either like a truck or a bus that I'll have to run around, but I'm holding down my gun button, the B button, to make sure I blast anything out of the way. And I want to get to the end of a light ring path right before the next like loop-de-loop. So that's the plan. Let's see how well I can do it. Yeah. So with that, you have just enough chaos control to get past the loop-de-loops, and then you're here. So you have ammo, use it. You want to shoot the door down here. You don't have to wait for the explosion. I will hug this wall, and I will shoot a bit to try to destroy these boxes. And then I will actually maintain my shooting, because as you run through here, there's not a whole lot of room to squeeze between these two red fruits and that alien. But if I'm shooting, I'll make room. I'll either hit this fruit on accident with my shots, or I'll make room through the middle. And then if I have a good position or I hit damage, I might shoot this debris to get it out of the way. But I'll aim straight down this way, ideally faster so that this guy can't hit me. And I'll also try to aim between these two roadblocks, use a bullet to destroy that debris, and then I'll make my way over. Oh, I'm sorry, the cursor's on screen. And then that's to the end. So one more full pass through, going as fast as I think I can. Again, I'll call something out if I notice anything, but that's the plan here. Have to get that bird, or the wing, I call them birds. Is out of habit. Got the gun, making sure to stay back so they don't attack you like this. I didn't need to stop to get those two. That would have been a case where I would have said missed two, and I would have kept my momentum pace, or my pace throughout the stage the same. And then, like, so long as I don't miss three, I know that I can do just a spray and pray here and have enough points.
Behold the ultimate power.
I'm gonna stop chaos control here, do a light dash down, hold B to get through all this. And the chaos control. Light dash through, shoot, get it out of my way. Accidental high jump there, running into something with a slope. We'll talk about what that means in this next stage.
Find all of the emeralds, then I'll find the truth.
Yeah, that's Wassopolis. It's gonna suck. Doesn't matter how good that the game you are, that stage just is killer on everybody. But the more you play it, the better you'll get at it. The less times it will suck. But yeah, once you kind of know how to go about it, it's not too bad, but it is still kind of bad sometimes. But it's definitely one of the harder stages. So once you get that down and out of the way, everything else kind of works out nicely. So there's going to be two major tricks here that I do. I'll show first, for example, if I just take this loop and then take this ramp, just how much time is lost here. So I'm gonna go again.
I don't remember this place.
I'm gonna do a skip maneuver here, I'm gonna jump over here, do a spin dash, down. Now, I'm not gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. So as I'm run down,
Remember this place.
right about here, you can see I'm holding the X to do a slide. And then I'll do a jump off. And now that gets me that like type of movement.
Damn, not here.
Let's just reset our lives here real quick.
I will find the truth.
So once again, I'm gonna do a slide right about there. There's a bit of leeway here. It's definitely something that it's early on in the stage. Just jump off the ledge.
Not here.
Just do some repetition of this until you get the feel for it.
Remember this place.
The technique is X to A, this slide, go into a slide, and then be able to jump off. You'll do this light dash here to get your up to speed, and then as you get to here, you'll try to jump off and either land on top of this pot or land next to the pot, so that you have a clear path to the end, and then you can charge up a spin dash. And I ran off on purpose, but you would go to where Knuckles is. Okay, unfortunate there, but yeah, pretty much just like that. So now that you're here, you have an option. If you're using your like a 100% file or a more unlocked file, you have the option of either using the Omochow gun or the egg vacuum for the next section. I prefer the egg vacuum. The Omochow gun is just as good. I find it's a bit easier if I just don't worry about where I'm aiming the gun, but some people like using the Omochow gun. So to explain what the egg vacuum is, it is an unlockable weapon. You press B and things go into the vacuum. So all the enemies that we care about here will go into the vacuum. Some stages that's not the case. But then in that case you would probably be using the Omochow gun instead. So the goal here is to grab the aliens. So as I run through here, like I'd be doing it a lot faster, but I would grab these 4 aliens as I make my way up this way. I will also grab these 2. And now as I come to here, there's a bit of a slope that you can kind of see. I will try to, like, as I'm running up against it, I will jump, and that will give me a lot of height, because if I just try to jump from the ground, I have to grab the sledge. But if I'm moving fast, which I will attempt to do here,
Black creatures. Let's show 'em what we've got.
then I can clear it completely. So that's just something that can be practiced as well. Here is a set of rings. Do not light dash them, because you can't. They're too far spaced. So you just want to run down this section. Let me get back up. Yeah, so as you get up here, you're just gonna run down. And then we're gonna skip this loop, and skipping this loop is just gonna be a quick jump. I don't think you can do... I'm gonna... okay, we're gonna go through, and if I do it on habit, then that's what I would be. But I'm gonna see if I do that just out on muscle memory. I honestly don't remember at the moment.
Hey, Shadow. You saw him too, didn't
Grab
you?
the egg vacuum.
Black creatures floating around here.
Vacuum, vacuum, vacuum.
Do a little exterminating. Try going down.
Jump, good. Okay, no, I do. I do a slide off. Not every loop you do that. Some, it doesn't really make sense to do it on. I'm gonna do a light dash here. I choose to skip everyone here because of the particular route I am trying to do. So that's what I'll be showing. Some other runners will grab enemies here and then need to grab enemies, or not grab as many enemies later on. So once again,
Hey, Shadow.
going through here, up, and grab the egg vacuum, and vacuum everything up.
Aha!
You can use
Try going
the
down.
enemy counter here to kind of keep track of your kills. Because again, it's not always obvious with this score, but you know you need to get at least those 6 enemies at this point, right?
They're lying in ambush.
Okay.
Looks like those little things are
Let's get
aliens
that one
too.
here. And then this spot here, you don't have to do anything, but it's always fun to use the C stick down here, and that will cause a bit of a camera glitch.
Help! We're being sucked in!
So, nice and cool. Alright, these 2 loops here, we're just going to do a jump at the right time. So jump, and you can jump across to skip both loops. And then now that I am here, what I am going to do, I'm going to run through this room, and I'm only going to pick up the 2 Black Warriors. There's a worm that's next to the gem that's in this room, but on the GameCube and PS2 releases, like the earlier ones, you can't pick up the worm fast enough. So unless you slow down. So that is my plan in this room. Hold B, just get everything out of your way, and then you jump into that lever. And then I'm picking up the different leeches as well. As I land on this checkpoint, I am going to then use my light dash. Jump over that roadblock. I'll grab this guy as well. I feel like I'm missing points, but maybe that's just because of my route, or what I've been doing in my routes lately. I've been doing like no special weapons attempts. So at this point, you're either going around this whole section, this whole loop, and that's not too difficult to do, but to go really fast, you want to make your way onto this pillar that's slided over, or on a slant, and then you can see here I am holding the R button, right? Yes, R button. That allows me to do some strafing maneuvers, so I can give myself a little more room up the top. So when I charge my my spin dash, I can do a jump off of it, like I would do like this. Or after you let go of the charge, you jump up. So that is what I'm going to do here. Position myself, and then I can skip like that. It takes a while to get used to, so you just have to do like just many attempts. There's a checkpoint nearby. It won't take long. The alternative is just to go around this horizontal loop instead of the vertical loop. And then I'm dodging everything here, despite, or I'm trying to dodge everything. It's not the end of the world if I run into something. For like a PB record attempt, yes, but for the grand scheme of things, no. If you have the one-shot gun, you're going to be shooting them out of your way, assuming you have enough ammo. So coming up here, I'm going to do it once I kind of explain. I'm going to jump over here, and basically I was able to skip this other horizontal loop that's in this area, and that was just a matter of chaining. Oh, I guess I'm dying here.
Damn, not here.
But I'm taking this slight dash, and as you enter this section, you can kind of see how they're going back and forth. This middle platform should be over here, like this. By the time you're in this area, you do that light dash. And then once you land on there, you're going to charge up your spin dash. Well, not the best place to charge up a spin dash. And then as you let go, you jump off. It's pretty much that simple. Okay, so I'm out of lives. I don't want to redo this whole stage right now, so hopefully... There you go. Now, had I done my point routing correctly, I would be killing these 2 aliens, and that's when I would have my chaos control. So I can skip all of this section here. So I guess I'll do one more run through, but I would be skipping all of this. I would be stopping my chaos control right here. And then I can use my egg vacuum to vacuum up this guy. I'm gonna grab an extra one here. You wouldn't if you came through the stage normally. But then you would just keep vacuuming up to maintain your chaos control. And as you get past the sand pile here, you can use your chaos control to skip the rest of what I am about to do. Which should be all of this. And all of this. You'll land right around here, and you can either choose to go around the horizontal loop, or as we've been doing, skipping the horizontal loops. So you'll want to jump over to here, being mindful of all the debris that is smacking your face like that. And then you'll do a spin dash into the back wall on the other side of that tornado, and that will that'll get you to the end of the stage. So I'll run through it here real quick because I have to.
Hey, Shadow, you saw him too, didn't you?
Grab my egg vacuum. Another thing that's important to note is that simply having an egg vacuum is not enough. You need to have the level 2 egg vacuum. The level 2 egg vacuum has a bit more range and it has more ammo. If you don't have the level 2, you need to at least pick up one extra bit of ammo from another shadow box. Assuming with the egg vacuum, you don't vacuum it up, because that is something that you can do, like I am about to do right here. Alright. That... Oh, you know what? I am low on points. I am low on a lot of points, actually. I was supposed to grab... Yeah, the enemies I said I was supposed to be skipping on purpose, I'm not supposed to be skipping on purpose. That's the other route I've been doing lately. Yeah, okay, and then here's a backup strat. If you make it across, just jump on one of either that ledge or this ledge, and you can do the spin dash jump across like that. I am supposed to have chaos control right now. I am missing points. So I will...
This temple looks pretty odd. It has a bird-like shape to it.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
I don't remember this place.
Hey, Shadow.
Now, I didn't need to charge up as long there, but I was contemplating exactly how I was going to explain this next sentence. You can land on that pot, and if you land on just the wrong edge, you'll actually end up like spin dashing on the side of the... No, okay. I need to grab you. Yes. That's better now. I need to grab... I'm doing it one more.
I don't remember this place.
But yeah, going back to what I was saying before I was distracted, you can land on this pot and end up spin dashing on the side of it, and that's basically like a restart at that point, because you'll end up either flying into the void or flying into the ramp, the whole thing you were trying to dodge.
Try going down.
Okay.
Forward all information on those black aliens.
I'm gonna vacuum this guy, dodge everyone else, vacuum these two.
That means they're fair game.
And that puts me exactly where I want to be later on. Again, this is all based on the spreadsheet I showed earlier. You can kind of like work backwards from where you want to use chaos control and figure out which enemies you want to, or you can grab as you work your way backwards from that point. Yeah, this is looking a lot more better. So, spin dash jump here. And now I have just enough points so those last two black warriors will put me over the edge, and then I can use chaos control. Just like that. I want to make sure I'm at those ramps or speed dash pads. Otherwise, you have to like start a little bit back and you use more points to get to the same point later on.
Behold the ultimate power.
So I'm going to cancel chaos control here. You can see here that I still have a little bit of a meter, and if I'm quick about it, I'm able to maintain my meter because as you grab more aliens, it keeps growing. Which I'll show here. Yeah, that was barely enough, but I was able to make it through, and I can use the rest of this chaos control here. Get that guy out of my way. That's how I go about that section. There's a few ways you can do that. Just experiment a bit with it. And then once you're here, run to the end. Note that I have 3 egg vacuum ammos right now, and there's a lot of larvae, or leeches. So don't count on being able to just vacuum up all the leeches, because that will happen. Alright. I wasn't expecting to take 15 minutes per stage to explain everything, but that's where we're at right now.
I take orders from no one. I do as I decide.
Alright, next stage. Okay, Prison Island. First easy trick is right in the beginning. As you land on this rail, you're going to jump off of the rail and head backwards on the rail.
I know this place.
And you can use your X button here on this rail and all the rails in the game to increase your speed. You're going to just mash it a bunch. We'll see that more often later on, but that's why I'm jumping a bunch here. But there was a dash pad there to make me go zooming through. We'll land here. And I'm gonna hug this wall here. We're explaining the normal mission right now. If we were doing the faster route, it would be dark. But we're explaining normal now. So, hug this wall, do a jump. Now I'll let you grab this enemy and grab the gun real quick. And then as you run through here, you can take pot shots at this guy. If you don't grab him, it's fine. You can, if you have a bit of ammo to spare, you can shoot away the roadblocks, otherwise just jump over them. And you want to jump to this ramp here. That will get you down here faster. This guy will like to move around here, but you can usually position yourself mid-air as you're landing to shoot him. And then there's this guy here. You're gonna shoot him too. Now, this air saucer, I believe it's called, is a vehicle. Vehicles you can enter by pressing the X button. Or at least on the GameCube, I think it's B if you're using the Xbox controller. I don't know about PlayStation. But yeah, you're just gonna use that to ride on this acid river because otherwise you'll take damage. And I'm just ignoring all these enemies because I don't need to worry about them. If it was dark, that's the mission. But here, I'm just playing normal. Don't need to worry. So at this point, I am running over here. Here's a shadow box. Here's an egg vacuum. I'm gonna jump on here. I'm gonna try to stay over this section, so when I jump off, I can land up here. You may have to hold forward a bit, but you'll then land up here. At this point, I will hold the button down, and I will be grabbing at least 2 or 3 of these black warriors here. You'll want to make sure you dodge the red fruits as well, because otherwise you'll take damage. There's this 4th guy. You probably won't get him. That's fine. But now with your egg vacuum, you can vacuum up everything here. There's a worm spawning next to me. You don't need to get the worm. You're either gonna jump over this red fruit, or you're gonna move around it.
Damn it.
Depending on how you practice. At this point, you can continue to hold the B button, and you'll have enough chaos control to use chaos control. And then you're just gonna keep it going. And this is taking advantage of a mechanic in the game where the game will not want to drop you onto the floor again after you reach a certain point. Sometimes there's nothing, sometimes there's dangerous floor. So it will just keep carrying you on until there's a place where you can land that's safe. And that just happens to be all the way down here. Now at this point, there's this red orb. This red orb is like pure hatred or something like that. That gives you a full red meter. Now, like with the blue meter, you'll get this extra ability of infinite ammo and invulnerability. That explained why I was able to do in Wasopolis, just holding down the vacuum button. Same thing in Glyphic Canyon, or the gun in Wasopolis, vacuum in or Glyphic Canyon. Either way. And we will utilize that in some points in the run. Here it doesn't really matter as much. But we are grabbing this orb, and by doing that, we're going to jump onto this acid river, take damage, but then we'll be invulnerable for a bit, and then we'll be able to maneuver on the acid river for a bit to be able to get onto the rail here. And once we do that, it's just grabbing this orb, and then we'll have invincibility, and we'll just run down this acid river as if it's just a road. So that's the plan here. Take damage, run over, jump on the rail, grab the rail. You can get light dashes here. You want to try to get at least one of them to get your speed. So there's a great example of sometimes light dashes just don't want to cooperate, and that sucks. So good luck, but yeah, that's pretty much the stage. Once you get over to here, you jump off, and there's the gold ring. Just like that. Dodge these guys into the gold ring. We're gonna move on here. I don't think there was anything
I found it. The 4th emerald.
in particular there that needed a re-explanation.
Perfect.
Alright, so these next few stages, these are exclusive to the only normal mission route. But yeah. Okay, so Sky Troops. This beginning section is an auto-scroller. Your controls are completely locked. There's nothing you can do, so don't
Blue sky.
try anything here. If you're playing the Reloaded mod, use a light dash they added in here. That's kind of fun. It throws you off a bit. But you don't gain control until you land here. Then once you do, you're going to move to the side here, and you're going to continue dodging everything until you can get to this shadow box. And once you get to the shadow box, you're going to pick up the shadow rifle. This shadow rifle can destroy most enemies in a single shot. Like big guys like the vehicles and airships, they take multiple shots, but otherwise you can consider this a one-shot kill weapon. So I'm going to go through this again to kind of
Not here.
show what I'm doing. I'm running through, dodging everything. I am breaking this box. I am shooting the Black Oak. So now, there's a bit of movement tech. I don't know if I explained really, but I'll do it again here. I'm doing a slide to break the box open.
This blue
So it's going to take a while to get there now.
From afar. Have I seen it before?
Yeah, I'm doing a slide. I'll do like a jump at the end of my slide, and that might make me land on the weapon. That, and yeah, in that case, I landed near the weapon, I somehow landed in the middle. I was able to run into the weapon to pick it up fast, and then I can just shoot the Black Oak. And then one last demonstration here. I am running through, I'm just picking up the gun and I'm just turning around without actually turning around, and I'm making a shot. If I see 800 on my meter here, that means I've killed the Black Oak. I'm gonna now run up here. You can take the ramp. Faster ways to jump over here, charge a spin dash up, and maneuver your way over here. Now in this room, you're going to take out both of the Black Warriors, the Black Oak, and the Black Warrior there. You don't need to worry about any of these larvae. If you do this room extremely fast, which is like crazy, I'll try to do it later. You can just run to here and like you're at that by 30 seconds. Just like dash. Here's a new vehicle. This is the I don't know if its official name is, but it has massive legs and you jump high. What some people will do is they'll jump over to here, and depending on when you get here and what the cycles are, you can do a jump to make it up there. I didn't quite have it. Yeah, you can see how much lower it is now. What I do is I jump over here, I jump over here, and then I jump over there, and the cycles are usually in my favor. So let's try that again. Yeah, I'll try to do it a lot faster. Up, didn't get him. There we go. I'm gonna try to shoot these guys as fast as possible. Kind of failed at that. So once I'm in this area, this section is now loaded. I can do this maneuver where I jump. Okay, here we go. This is the missing part. I jump onto this platform and then up into here. Thank you. And then up to here. Do that one more time because I wanted to explain a technique I did that I haven't explained yet. Up, a little too early there. So as I'm running up these stairs, or as I go up to the next set of stairs, you'll see that I do a jump dash, and that just kind of lets me get up the stairs a little bit faster. Okay. So, someone came in the chat here real quick. They're asking how I feel about the recently released Shadow Generations. I think it's cool. I'm excited to play it. I don't think I'll end up speedrunning it, or at least seriously at all, but it's gonna be cool stuff. Back to tutorial stuff. So yeah, that's the whole idea there with my jump dashes. I am trying to just maintain my speed in my expected position. And then, yeah, ideally I'll grab this quickly. And then making my way up here eventually. Well, I guess here's another thing here. You can notice that there's rings here still. These are ghost rings. They're the worst. Avoid using these as much as possible. When they're here as normal rings, they're normal rings. But once they keep this here so that you can still use them to get over here. But their hitbox is a little bit different, and they can sometimes be hard to hit. So try not to hit these if ever.
Damn, not here.
I'm gonna go through this one more time. I hit that checkpoint.
I've got to get on board the doctor's floor.
Please actually restart. Okay.
This blue sky, staring at it from afar.
All right.
Have I seen it before?
I'm holding up. I'm just getting ready for this next part here. Once I gain control.
Damn it.
I'm gonna try to weave my way through here. Better next time. I'll grab the gun, shoot the Black Oak, make my way up, jump to the side to do the spin dash. Now let's see how fast I can do this next section. Pretty fast. Nothing that you'll just get as you do it more. Here are my 3 jumps. Alright, and now up here, I am I'm getting my runs mixed up again. Shoot that guy. Then you'll have enough points later. If you miss him for some reason, there's a bit of extra points at the end where you would normally use chaos control. So it's fine, you just won't be able to use chaos control as fast as you would like. You spin dash down here. Probably charge it a little bit longer than that, because you can see I barely made it, basically. But now with the shadow rifle, we can shoot down these two black oaks. And I'm going to do homing attacks on these two, so I don't have to use as much ammo. If you plan to pick up the extra ammo in this next section, just go ahead and shoot them both. But I personally don't grab the extra ammo. I just use the one set, but I don't have to go further in to get the extra ammo. Yeah, so there, I did a slide. Same button as your charge or your spin dash, but if you're running fast enough, you'll slide. Same thing will happen if you use the B without a weapon. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, but since you'll mostly have a weapon on you, try to memorize your slide command with using the X button. All right, so now that we're here, this is going to be another good tutorial point. We're going to do this maneuver called the spin dash high jump. So we've been using spin dashes and jumps for spin dash jump, but you can see how I'm assuming I would keep going, not past this wall. I'm basically just going forward a bunch. But if I time my spin dash jump, get out of the camera, Eggman. If I time my spin dash jump as I'm hitting a sloped wall or collision, I'll take that horizontal momentum and I'll make it go up. So you can skip that section there. This is a loop. Don't skip it. It's really hard to / not really worth it. Now at this point, we can look at my blue meter. I can shoot this alien and then I have enough points. Before I do that though, I'm going to show you where the shadow box is, so that if you shoot this guy and the meter's depleting, you can quickly go and grab this shadow box. Or I'll do that. Okay, I grab it. Here's the shadow box. You shoot it, you pick up your shadow rifle ammo for extra ammo. I'm going to keep going with just this one and hopefully not miss anything. And if so, I've just saved a little bit of extra time by not having to go to this box. I could have just used chaos control where I had landed there after that ramp. And that lets you skip this whole jumping section, which is very long. You don't want to do this. Now, there's a technique here where as I land, I will do a light dash across these rings, and then I will be able to do like a little bit of a jump and land back on this path here. I'm not going to show you that. That's not really worth it as a beginner. Practice it if you want, but recommended fastest way here is just to run over here and jump up and go down, just like they would expect you to.
I guess I have to go down.
Just like that. You can use the light dash here if you position yourself correctly, unlike I did there. We can do our slide jump maneuver to get off of that. And then I'm going to do a slide to break down this wall. Now, as I'm here, I am going to rub up against this switch. If I do it like that, yeah, you can see I kind of like bounce off of it. You hear some rings. You're going to dash, hold back here so you don't actually land all the way up. And then you can shoot these two black oaks. Miss that pebble next time. And then shoot these two black hawks. Shoot these two black oaks. These two have shields, so you will not be able to use your gun on them, even the shadow rifle. So just keep homing attacking them. And then you can get to the spring. Now here, there is two paths you can take here. I am going to recommend you only focus on this path. If you do your point routing correctly, you can get through here, but that's an exercise for after the tutorial. Here, just based on my kill route, I'm able to do 1, 2, 3, and now if I try to use chaos control here, you can hear that cancellation button. I need to jump into the void, and then I can use chaos control. And then the game says, oh, I can't drop you into the void, I'm just gonna keep you going. This is way faster than taking the hawk. And then you just kind of run through the stage. You jump here, and now you're at the end. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna do one more quick run through,
This blue sky,
and then
staring at it from afar. Have I seen it?
we'll move on to the next stage. Oh, it's fine.
Oh, Shadow. Fancy running into
Up.
you. There's got to be some kind of peculiar power.
Slightly slow there, but that's fine.
Find it and destroy it.
A run that finishes is faster than a run that doesn't.
Must have left it behind. It looks like it can jump pretty high.
Okay. Another point I want to bring up that kind of came up earlier. I mentioned that pebble not hit it. Shadow's fastest form of movement, if we haven't figured it out by now, is just running straight. But if he stubs his toe on anything, he will come to a complete standstill. So at that point, it's important to get good at your movement, know where you're supposed to be heading. But the more you stop and like look around for things, the slower you're going to be in the end. So try to practice with the idea that you're just not going to be stopping. Okay.
Try going down.
Jump. You can see that I've moved my control stick backwards to make sure I landed in the middle. Using that in-air momentum or in-air control to help out. Holding back so I don't land on here. And bam. He dodged the time. Look how much faster I'm going. Shoot, shoot. Shoot. That goes. Slide here if the larva or if the leeches are going to be in your way. When you're on those, well, I'll show it at the next part here. But when you're on one of those rockets to parachute things, you can use the X button to drop down faster. Otherwise, you use the jump, and that gives you a little bit of height. Both can be useful depending on your situation and what stage you're in, but most of the time, use the X button. Curve, shoot, shoot. Oh, I missed a bit. The idea here, from me at least, is I'm trying to not run into another bullet I didn't need to. I am trying to do my shots like this, where I'm coming through, shot, 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 and then I'm able to keep momentum going into the void section to then do the scale.
Try going up. Take a good look below you.
Yep, so here, if I do A, I get a little bit of height. Press X, you go straight down. Careful here, you can run off past the goal into your death. Alright. Well, it looks like we've been averaging 15 minutes per stage.
You're not getting
I think I
away
spent a
from me
little bit
this
more time on
Doctor.
Westopolis and Clifton Canyon. But a happy 1 hour recording mark for this low effort tutorial. Hope so far you found useful information. Alright, Iron Jungle. This one's pretty interesting. So, light dash into this ramp. Homing attack both of these guys. Do it a little bit faster though. Right here, there's Omega. As you run through here, Omega will get picked up as your partner. You can do a run and just do a jump, like a tiny jump. And that hurt box you'll have as you do your jump will hit this egg pawn. And Omega will then also do that and also run into the egg pawn. So you're able to do kind of a tag team attack there. So I will show that off now. Just like that. I got these two. Grab this weapon. And then instead of doing the homing attack across, you can just do a spin dash jump. And then just like on the previous rails, I'm mashing the X button here. And it lets me go a little bit faster. Here, I will jump and start spamming my missile or my pistol to take out those guys, because as I'm trying to get my shadow or my egg vacuum here, those guys will lock onto you, shoot you, and they will likely hit you. Here I'm going to use the egg vacuum. Dodging these explosives, they are going to be shooting you. If you stay to the side here, you're more likely to dodge them, but kind of try to keep an eye out to where they are. You might need to pivot from that. We'll do the stage once more, because this is a pretty quick stage. I'll end up down here. There are 4 pawns. Grab the 4 pawns. 3 shadows. Grab the 3 shadows. Immediately try to use chaos control.
Behold the ultimate power.
If you can do it immediately, you'll get through all of this. If you do not, you will land way over here in the beginning. Right over here. So, in that case, if you don't do it immediately, and you know you don't do it immediately, you can use this technique that we have called Chaos Control Extension. I will now dive, as that's my only option, and I will showcase what that looks like. Actually, I'll restart so I can do the whole beginning in a more fast way to kind of show everything.
Shadow, I need to get back to my base and restore order. Help me get away from these
Dash here. Tag team jump. Jump across. Kill these 2. Now again, like, it might not have been obvious necessarily, but I'll iterate it now. We're killing enemies that may not need to be killed for the sake of going fast, because they will get us chaos control points, and that's how we'll go really fast, because we'll be able to use the chaos control to skip through a good chunk of the stage. Okay, so I'm here. I missed that one, so now we can see how it hits me. That's fine if I'm quick about it, and you won't get another chance. You don't have to worry about explosives there, but sometimes you do. Alright, there we go. I didn't hit it immediately. So here's what I'm going to do. Right before I get to the end here, I'm going to cancel and start it up again. When I do that, the game must send you through the stage a little bit. It doesn't matter how many points of chaos control you have. You could have 1 out of 30,000 points. You have to go a certain amount. So if you do that, you can get a little bit of an extra reach in your chaos control where you normally wouldn't. The side effect of this is, or the cost, is that you're wasting real and in-game time to stop and recharge your chaos control, essentially, like do the whole animation and then go again. So if you can avoid using it, you should avoid using it. But sometimes it's unavoidable, and this is how you end up going faster overall. So at this point, nothing really to worry about. I'm just going to use the egg vacuum to clear the enemies out of my way, and I am going to just run as fast as I can. You can keep your momentum going here to jump across. I'm going to take this rail to the bottom. Now here, you can grab this checkpoint for safety, but instead of going down, you'll jump on top of this box and then do a spin dash across. That'll get you to this last, what do you call it? Rocket parachute. And then you can make your way to here. And here's your goal ring. That's pretty much the stage.
Now,
Hello,
Doctor,
Dream
you will
Syntax.
tell
Yes,
me everything.
this is a tutorial. It is a very low effort tutorial on my part, but it's at least getting my thoughts out there for people to use for learning. That's the idea right now. In my perfect world, I would have the time to do the whole fancy infographics and stuff, but I always have too much on my plate to get around to doing that. So I'm doing it at least for these neutral paths, and then maybe someday we'll do the others. You're gonna skip this cutscene, and this is the easiest. The game is struggling. Okay. Hopefully it will keep up or get back up to speed once I explain what I'm doing here. So this fight can be either a real pain or a cinch, depending on what you know and what you do. So the game wants you to shoot at egg breaker here using the weapons around, and the turret I'm going to grab now. But most players probably don't realize that you can get on that turret, and instead of just holding down the B button, you can instead mash the B button, and that will allow you to get more bullets out and skip through the different phases. So this fight will last 7-ish seconds. If you're really fast at mashing, it can be like close to the 5, but for me, it's usually around 6.5. Wow, the lag is so real. Oh, you know what it is? I'm currently running on a newer version of my Dolphin install. I think it's still trying to kind of catch up with the different
An android? Me?
shader compilations it's trying to do.
You.
So on that note, do a few runs through the stages you know you'll be playing, and then hopefully all this bad performance it's doing as it's trying to get all these shader stuff compiled, you won't have to worry about it. We'll find out. Yeah, it seems like it's back up to speed now. I've been doing expert mode, so I haven't had a chance to do a boss fight on this install yet. Okay, Lava Shelter. At this point, we are synced up between the two different runs that you can do for a neutral glitchless run. So, in this case, we're doing the same thing. Or actually, no. In the other one, we're doing a dark mission. Okay, I forgot about that part. But you can do either ending in this stage and get a neutral ending. So we'll do the hero one now. Well, it seems like our lag is still here a bit, but let's try rebooting this real quick here. Relaunch.
The truth.
Okay, so as we land into the stage, you can see that we're going down the middle here. you want to actually go to the sides. One of the sides. In this case, I'll prefer the left side. And when you do that, you can then charge up a spin dash and then just really get going on the rails without having to like build up speed as much. Another thing we'll be doing here is that as we do our different X inputs to do jumps, that will give us a little bit of height. We want to dodge these dash rings because they will set our speed to a known speed, which will be slower than our current speed. So as we're going down this rail, if we stay low as we're going past those rings, we'll maintain our speed. So that is what we are doing here. Oh, I missed that part there. There. Did it a little bit earlier so I can get out of the way.
Using the control.
Dodged it. I am going to switch over to this next rail, and that's just a matter of, I think it was, I was pressing the X as I was holding a direction. Up, there we go. I'm going to stay on this middle path here. I'll hit that dash ring, but that's fine because we're going to be through this next section pretty quick. There is a technique that you can use to go off to the right there and miss that dash ring, but that's a little bit more of an advanced technique. That's also learning for after the video. Dodge that guy. And we're going to charge another spin dash. And make our way over here. Now, yeah, we're going to just keep doing exchanges here on the rails. Now here, we're going to do a spin dash, and we're going to want to maintain height on the walls by doing triangle jumps, like I just failed to do there. Are you going to let me fall to my death soon?
Damn,
Thank
not
you.
here.
Let me show that again.
I'll make you wish you'd never created me. Using the control stick while grinding will let me lean toward other rails. And while grinding, press a
Shadow. Eggman is inside here. If you
And
have
this is how much speed I have, just doing a quick light dash first. Okay, so we're gonna do the triangle jump technique here. But we can get further in quicker by doing a spin dash jump there. And then another spin dash into this rail. Now at this point, you could grab let's say the egg vacuum and use that to grab hero points to use chaos control later. This is actually slower. You just want to run through the stage. If you run through the stage at top speed, you can get to the goal ring within 2 minutes, or under 2 minutes. If you have to stop and grab points, you may end up spending more time grabbing points to use a faster chaos control, but ultimately get to the goal ring slower. I'm gonna dodge, generator, jump down to here. Using light dashes where they make sense. You can connect these like this for better speed. If you're not feeling like it, you can just jump so you don't worry about running into the lava. Jumping over that. Great. Now here, you can see I am very on the edge. That technique there, just doing a dash jump across, I'm going to say like a 98% success rate. If you do like a kick slide down, I find that there's like more like a 70% chance that you'll make it across, and a 30% chance you'll end up bouncing backwards, which is awful because if you're doing the dark mission, this is lava. So you want to avoid that if possible. Once you're up here, there's a dash pad here. I can get you across here. Just keep running forward. And then you're over here. There are shadow androids that will drop down over there. You want to skip them. Yeah, back to our trusty spin dash rail. You want to jump before you reach the end here. That will get you decently across, and then you can do another triangle jump across. If you fall down here on hero, it's fine. Just use the bottom route. You'll end up back on the top route. ideally you stay on the top route. Here, just let the life, or run into the life, and then you just jump down here. And then if you do this jump right, you can just jump over the lava generator. And at this point, you're truly on the hero path. What I'll do here is that as I approach the edge, I will do a jump, and that just seems like a more smooth transition into the fan. I haven't actually done the signs to say if it's faster or not. At this point, you're just doing jumps, dodge the enemies here. Now, two things you can do here. You can just keep going down the rail and you'll eventually make it down. What I like to do is I jump off, shoot the sign, and I charge a spin dash straight across. This will, ideally, if I wasn't like also positioning my camera to talk and show things, would have landed me directly on this rail. And that should be faster than going down the rail, even at the top speed you were going. So, that's the stage. There's not really a whole lot more to talk about. So, here now,
Doctor,
I am,
I'll hear the
this is the final boss for the neutral path. Doesn't matter which route you do, which ending of Lava Shelter you do, you will end up in this boss fight. In this boss fight, there's a lot to go over. Whew. It's pretty intimidating, but also
Nice
not
to
quite.
see you, Shadow Android. And
Once you kind of
too,
understand what's going
Omega.
on, it gets a lot simpler.
Looks as if you- I'll
So,
turn both
here's
of
Egg
you into
Dealer.
scrap
He is
with
a
my
slot machine.
legend
He has
and
random
brightest
outcomes.
invention.
Depending on those outcomes, you're able to do a fast run, a slow run,
Get ready for
but
a real
you can kind of control it a bit by like not really relying on the output as like for every single attack we do. We only are looking for a few different groups of outcomes to be able to do what we want to do. So this stage, I am going to say definitely read up on, let me get up a browser here so I can show you. There was an excellent guide on our speedrun.com page by our good friend Azrael Kirby. Oh, can I get it into view? Yeah, cool. So on here, we can see that he kind of goes through all the different things we're going to try to talk about here. So here's your starting point. Here's your, here's where Egg Dealer is. There's this weapon we're aiming for. And depending on the different outcomes, we're going to end up in the middle. And we want to try to influence its position over this way into this northern section. And how we go about it kind of depends on where he lands. Sometimes it's not really possible. And yeah, and then I'll just go over talking about the things I didn't just then. Okay, so first thing here, I am hoping for one of two outcomes. I'm hoping for either rings or the shadow fever outcome. In either of those cases, I'm able to allow Eggman to just kind of run around and then do a nonsense completion. And when he does that, he will spawn weapons into the stage. At that point, I will make my way... Oh, before that point, I'll be making my way into the middle of the stage to make the weapons spawn on the outside where they are deterministic. There's no randomness involved. And then I'll be able to get that one pistol that was shown in those images. If I get bombs, he can use bombs against me. So I want to use bombs on him instead. So I will complete the slot sequence and just take the damage. I think Kirby is determined, like, for the fastest like times, it's worth it to restart, but that's something to do when you're aiming for seconds to shave off. Let's worry about just finishing the run fast now. I jump up, hit the switches, there's bombs, so I'm just gonna hit the third one.
No, Don't drop them here.
And like that, he's gonna drop a bomb. I'm gonna try to jump into his face here a bit. This will deal a little bit of extra hit damage. And yeah, so that's attack 1. He's gonna start up the reels again, and a new outcome will appear. So another thing to note here for Egg Dealer, you want to try to stay on the outside to where you are facing him, because it's a little bit easier to attack from the outside going inwards, the buttons. So if he's spinning around the other way, you would do 1, 2, 3, but in this case we're going to do 3, 2, 1. Or at least 3, 2, because we want to get those weapons. Oh, miss, but that's okay. So as we can see here, that is 2 shadows. That works out for me. I am gonna keep my eye on where he is. So this is where the weapon is going to spawn. He is over here. I'm gonna quickly move my way this way so I can keep him moving this way when it is his time to move, based on those diagrams you saw earlier. And that will give me as much time as possible to grab the gun and keep him moving backwards so I can continue hitting buttons. So let's see how well that works out.
The mech's automatic system is set to whoever locks the third
Good.
slot and the
Alright, I'm inside, so I'm just gonna go inside out. I'm outside, I'm gonna go outside in. Rings don't help us here. Oh. Alright, so something here. I have Shadow. I'm going for the third attack. Something to keep in mind here for what I'll explain soon is that we kind of want to get the Shadow outcomes when he's on the beginning of a straightaway. So this will be pretty close. This might be a bit too close to the corner, but that will make sense shortly. Okay, that's not bad. I'm going to position myself here. I now have Shadow Fever, and as we explained before, when you have either Hero or Dark Shadow, the glowy shadows, you also get infinite ammo. So instead of using Chaos Blast to deal rather like awful damage, we're going to use the fact that we have infinite ammo to just unload ammo into his face.
To all who oppose me.
Jump up, and then as you're shooting in the air, you'll stay in the air, and you'll just be able to keep shooting. If you're a really good masher like Silver Sonic, you will be able to end the fight there. If you're like me, you may need to do this extra bit of attacking. We're going to restart the fight so we can show off a couple different cases. So yeah, that's one way of defeating the boss.
I'll turn both of you into
Another way
scrap
that
with
I'm
my
not very good at, but others
latest
just
invention.
swear by, is using the Egg Bazooka. So if you're not a good masher at all, Egg Bazooka is the way to go. You can still get a very, very fast time. Alright, so I got rings there. I'm gonna jump across now. Again, that's where the pistol is. I believe this is where the bazooka is. Nope. So I'm going to need to go find that bazooka soon. There's the bazooka. So let's try that again.
I'll turn both of you into scrap with my latest and greatest invention.
Primal target confirmed. Commencing combat.
Get ready for a real blast. It's time for missile fever.
Okay, got rings. I'll jump across. We want to land here, so I'm going to keep my eye on where he lands at the end of this. Not a really good spot either way. In that case, I might try to stay close to him so he stays backwards, so I can grab this gun quick. If I do it fast enough, he won't turn around. When he turns around, it'll be hard to attack him. Once he turns around though, I should be able to shoot a bit. You can see how he kind of slows down a bit every time I shoot. So we want to take advantage of that, but it's going to require some aiming. And again, we're going to make sure we get Dark Shadow before we do that.
Don't drop the
Here, if you have pistol or egg bazooka, you can unload at least up until your last ammo.
Now you've asked.
You only need one ammo in your arsenal to
No!
actually use infinite ammo when you're in Dark Shadow mode.
Death to all who oppose me.
Nope, didn't quite get that. Yeah, I'm not very good at this. I would recommend watching a run from Dream Syntax where he utilizes this technique a lot better. And I think there was recently a run done by Pokemon Master for the dark version of the stage. He did a good job of this stage. Either way you do this, this should end up being a faster fight than waiting or just doing a bunch of attacks like this. So, grind out some attempts, and
This can't be.
yeah, hopefully that that helps you out.
Sorry, Doctor, but this is the end for you.
Okay. Question now is I've been streaming for 3.5 hours at this point. Do I think I can stretch it to 4 to get the rest of the tutorial done in one sitting? Maybe. We'll attempt it. Because we only have to do like the last few stages at this point. If you're doing a run, this is your final time for the speedrunner's cut. We've been doing this tutorial for about an hour of in-game time, apparently. So, neat. Okay, so in this case, I am going to go into our select mode. Oh, okay, so we have to do 4 stages in a boss? That will be tricky. I'll give it a shot, because, very frankly, I'm in a flow. I got nothing better to do tonight. Alright, so, again, just like in the normal mission, heading backwards to go forward faster. Grab this gun. You can then shoot that guy too. The mission here is to take out all the gun soldiers. So you can do that, or you can do a slightly faster way where you homing attack into the first guy and then shoot the second. And then again, you want to keep shooting all the gun soldiers in your way. We still want to use chaos control, so we will be grabbing hero points. And then we need to make sure that we grab all these enemies. Each of these beetles are worth 1 point. So you can see I'm at 700, or sorry, they're worth 1 point in the terms of 30 points, quote unquote, for chaos control or chaos fever. But they're also worth 100 normal score or dark score points. So this will make it 8. And if I look at the Black Doom meter, that's 8 of 40. On that note of 8 of 40, there are 41 enemies in this stage. So you cannot miss any. That is all I'll say at the moment. There's a backup, but try not to miss any. You can miss 1. So here's our Omochao gun. First time seeing Omochao gun in this tutorial. The thing that makes Omochao gun unique is that it's a pistol, but like the pistol ammo will hit something and then bounce out and hit something else real quick. So do that. I'll jump down here. You can kind of see how it ricocheted off like that. So when I go through here, I'll shoot and it'll actually travel forward in stage a bit and hit enemies coming up. Yeah, it took out those 2 enemies real quick. It's taking out all the leeches, taking out these, taking out the warriors that are hiding away. We're using chaos control like we would normally. However, we're going to stop here. And when we stop here, there's a spin dash jump we can do once we land on the ground. I won't show that, but look at an IL run or more a actual run of mine where I'll do that. But I'll show you how to get up here as fast as you can otherwise, because that's going to be your backup if things don't work out right. There's 3 enemies here. We got to make sure we kill them, preferably before our hero meter disappears, because we want to maintain our ammo count here. Shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, just like that. That seems pretty fast, but the spin dash jump is a little bit faster. Now out here, one shot each, or one shot for those 2. I'm going to also, if I didn't do enough damage earlier on, I might have, or if I did enough damage earlier on, I might have Chaos or Shadow Fever now. If not, you can destroy the environment objects to get some extra points. If you have enough ammo, you can shoot across here, try to hit all 3. Okay, here's Shadow Fever. I can run on the Acid River now, just like if I was down here with the orb earlier. And I'm going to make sure I destroy all of these enemies. I should be at a count of 28 by the time I hit that beetle. And I should be at a count of 31 here. And here,
I need to
this
find
guy
the Chaos Emerald that's
right
in this
here,
forest.
that is your quote-unquote golden beetle. That's your extra. If you happen to miss any enemy at this point, you can stop here and get this guy as he flies by. I missed him. you can reload him and he'll come back. Yep, and then you just smash through. And then as you land, you just smash this button a bunch. That's pretty much the stage. It's actually kind of pretty straightforward. It's really hard though. So, like, if you're really, really good, you can get 140s and under. If you're like me and you just can't get it, you'll be closer to like 145, 150. But it's a pretty fun IL to do otherwise, so.
Well done, Shadow.
Worth the time. So where's my
Now let's
route?
see the
Yeah,
humans
so
try to retaliate.
we already did the first route. This other route here, I'm gonna have to do a quick revision. It's actually normal,
Perfect.
dark, normal, hero, dark. And the oh no, right button. Okay. And the reason we do dark at the end here instead of hero is that it's slightly faster to do dark with glitchless than it is to just run through the stage in hero. Obviously, it's more difficult, so whatever works for you. But if you're going for the fastest possible time, do the dark mission here. All right. The Doom should go by pretty quickly here. Goal here is to get chaos control as fast as possible. So we're going to jump through here, slide under, and now there's these fires. I believe you need only the one. I am thinking out loud right now because I've been doing different routes here. You can grab these 3 just by doing the spin dashes into them. You're then going to go into the shadow box and you're going to pick up the satellite laser. The satellite laser locks onto an enemy and shoots down space lasers. What we can use this for is that there's a switch on the other side of these doors here, and you can just lock onto it like that. So that's a shortcut for you. At this point, you're running at a pretty fast speed. You're gonna do a slide like this into these flames here. And then as you make your way down here, you can do the same. You can then use chaos control, and that is going to be the end of the stage. So let me, oh, that happens if you restart too early there. I'm going to show it as fast as I can, just to show you how fast the stage is and why it's worth diverting to this stage to get a faster time for the neutral ending. Something else you'll notice me doing here is I'm using the C-stick a lot for movement. That way I'm able to maintain a quick, like a forward direction all the time. And then I just make adjustments with the C stick when I need to make a turn. So once you use chaos control here, the stage is over. 30 seconds, ideally closer to 25. It's
Maria, I'm glad
it's
that you're
stupid
safe.
fast. I'll probably go through this heavy dog fight pretty quickly too. There's only so much to do here. You can see I had a 20-second time. The fight can go by real quick. So there's a few ways you can go about this beginning part. You can either jump to the front sections here. You can run to the back and jump on those sections. Or as Agile Kirby has done a few times, you can jump, like go straight and then jump high enough right next to the guy and then start attacking from there. But the goal is to get height and start attacking the top. And you want to maintain attacking the top because he will start using an attack that will hit everywhere around the top. So if you drop too low, you'll end up, what do you call? You end up getting hurt. You eventually might want to get hurt near the end, but I'll explain it as we get closer to that part of the fight. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to one of the top sections. This. And I am just going to mash. And sometimes that can happen. So, restarting, not ideal. Just get back up and try again. I try to get at least 2 weapons. You really only need 1. Another thing to note here real quick is if you try to, in any stage, any level, at any time, if you try to do a homing attack while a partner character is in between you and your target, as you move through the partner character, you will lose your homing attack, and then you'll just run into whatever you were trying to hit, and you'll take damage. So this guy here, he's a real menace in this stage. So if you can see that he's coming up, you might want to hold off on doing a homing attack, or maybe you can try to change directions. But at least if you get 1 weapon on the ground, then you're good. And then you pick up the weapon, and you want to try to shoot or lock on with the rocket launcher and shoot the remaining top parts. Ideally, the ones in the back going forward. That way he will at least be showing the cockpit towards you more often. These bombs here, they will get in your way by taking some missiles. Like as a lock on. That's unfortunate, but if you're fast enough with your like this rhythm I'll be doing of just shoot a few, then they shouldn't pose too much of a detriment to your time. Another thing that I think I might be able to show off here real quick is that these platforms here, they don't have walls in a sense of these missiles. So once you lock on, the missile will just shoot through the wall. So let's see if that happens here. Yeah, so I can lock on through the wall. And there we go. I have no ammo left. So yeah, second phase starts. It's using the radio attack again, and then I'm just shooting at it. So let's do one more playthrough. Yeah, so we saw right there, it was a very small distance, but Doom got in the way between me and hitting the heavy dog again. Okay. Really bad at hitting stuff. Okay, so I positioned this right. I kind of almost did, but not really. When he's doing the second phase attack, he'll move towards you, so you can manipulate his position a bit by getting around these walls, and then what you really want is this cockpit where you can shoot with your gun. So this is actually not awful, but it's not as good as it could be. Here, yeah, it's not really hitting, but yeah, there I didn't get the back turret, so now the cockpit's not in view. Just keep shooting. Try to aim for like 30 seconds. You can get as low as 25 a lot, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. But it's another one of those cases where this is a pretty short fight. You just keep doing a couple.
Out of my sight.
You get good with the technique, and you can get the average time lower, despite what's happening. All right, Air Fleet. Yeah. Mission here is kill all the aliens. I don't think there's any extras. So you definitely want to make sure you only kill the ones that you... Or you have to kill everyone. Try not to miss any. Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes. You're going to take out these first two with homing attacks. You can do it pretty fast. His gun fell off. That's fine. Try not to fall off yourself. That can happen pretty often. You can do this a homing attack here and here, but you can also do a different maneuver, which I'll try to show off here. Okay. Where you kind of jump between them, land them here, and then jump over here. That's a little bit faster, like a second or so, so don't worry about it too much. You'll then just shoot these two. Light dash down here. Jump up. If you're not quick enough, these two will get you. A little bit slower, or they would have gotten me. Shoot these two as well. You don't need to grab their weapons. You'll be grabbing a much better weapon here shortly. Do some triangle jumps here. Here's that shadow box, and here's that shadow rifle. So there's a lot of black oaks in the stage, so this is an amazing weapon. Just as you're running through, shoot the enemies. There's some tech that you can do here to maintain your momentum. I wouldn't worry about it too much right now after tutorial learning, but all these black oaks, they just die. This guy will load pretty slow, so make sure you wait here to make sure that you get him. With this one, you have Hero Shadow, you have infinite ammo, just let loose. Here there's a refill on ammo, make sure you grab that. Checkpoint for safety. You can spin dash onto this rail. If you go too fast here though, you will fly off into the void here. So what I will do is so you can either slow down, don't go as fast, or you can do a jump here where you can then position yourself to be able to do a homing attack into the hole, which I'll show off now. Okay, that was actually not a great way of showing that off, but it also just kind of showed off how dangerous that can be if you aren't controlling your speed. So here, this is a electrified rail. You'll get damage, but that's fine. If you haven't noticed already, we only take 10 rings of damage per damage encounter. So take the hit, and then you can make your way across. Here's one, here's two. There's an enemy off screen here. I will shoot in that direction. If I see my score go up, I know I got him. But otherwise, visually confirm it. We're gonna take this path now. There's a bunch of black oaks here. One more black oak here. Use the chaos control. This will get you through this whole next section. Charged up a spin dash. You won't be able to get through here with that fan on. They kind of expect you to like go a bit, jump up, grab the ledge, get winded on, and then do it again and again. But you can just charge the spin dash and get all the way through. Here are 3 more Black Oaks. Sometimes, depending on how you like enter this room, they might die on their own by falling through the floor, in which case you will still get the credit and you'll be able to continue on. Electrical rail. And then the last 3 enemies here. And you're done. So, pretty straightforward. I think the usual time here is about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. If you're doing it decently fast, you can get pretty low.
Perfect.
But that's the route. You just do it faster. And I think this shouldn't have a CCG time on it. Yeah, I got 205 recently. I think Azrael Kirby or some others recently got like sub 2 on that, which is insane. Okay. Final level for the tutorial. We're gonna go through Lava Shelter Dark. Lava Shelter Dark. Kind of the same deal here.
Using the control stick while grinding.
Go through the beginning.
Other rails
Dodge all the enemies. Only difference here is that you're going to, instead of skipping a weapon, you're going to grab the Shadow Rifle. Or actually, yeah, the Shadow Rifle, because your objective here is to take out all of the lava generators. Or like activate all the lava generators so that they start raising the lava. So with the Shadow Rifle, it's a one-shot, it goes off. Now this section here, if you're fast enough, you can jump through and like land before the lava rises up too much. Otherwise, just do a spin dash jump. Now here, everything's rising up, so you can't just do that same maneuver we did earlier. You have to jump across.
What are you doing?
We are going to be grabbing kills here for hero chaos control.
Cut that out.
Yeah, again, don't do the slide, do the jump, because you will fall into the lava that is there now. Okay, shoot the generator, shoot these guys. You can grab some extra ammo here. I don't believe it's technically required. Shoot at least 3 of the androids here. Lava's rising here, so bottom path is no longer possible. You have to use the triangle jumps or the rails there. Kill this guy, kill these 2 shadow androids. And then from here, you can just shoot across, activate the turret. And from here, you can either go down and use these platforms, or you can do a spin dash jump across. And you then either jump across, or you can do a spin dash jump. I'm gonna wait for that last platform here to get out more, so when I do my spin dash jump, in case I was not so sure if I'll make it here, I can make it there. So this is the dark only path. Lava is risen. Over here, I can shoot this last one, shoot the shadow android, and then use my chaos control to skip the climb of shame. If you have to do the climb of shame, it is shameful. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. It's really long. It's hard. If you're not used to it, it's very hard. So try your best to get the chaos control here. And at this point, you are at the end of the stage. Just take one more shot. This, if you do it decently fast, it should take you 1:50.
The doctor
and you can get as low as like
about my
1:40-ish.
Nobody lays a hand on him except me.
Yeah, and then at that point you're entering Egg Breaker or Egg Dealer, and that's your that's how you do it. So that was the impromptu low effort shadow neutral tutorial in just under 2 hours. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching and learned a few things. That's not necessarily obvious to learn from watching runs. You can kind of see how we settle into just watch run and get everything for the most part, but there's some things that just don't make sense unless you really explain what's going on. So I'm hoping that helped here. I would like to do a more like professional looking tutorial where I have infographics up. I like when I'm talking about the points and having 1 of 30 for the meter points, I have like a little display and a counter going. That's gonna take time. I don't have time for that right now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.